who committed the September Massacres. If you're curious about one of the most tumultuous periods in French history, the September Massacres are a pivotal event that sheds light on the intense violence and fear that gripped Paris during the French Revolution. So, who were the people behind these brutal killings? To understand this, let's go back to the summer of 1792. The French Revolution was in full swing, and the city of Paris was on edge. The Brunswick Manifesto, issued by the Duke of Brunswick, had threatened severe punishment if the French royal family was harmed. This, combined with the advancing Prussian army, created a climate of fear and paranoia. On September 2, 1792, this fear boiled over into violence. A group of citizens, primarily composed of National Guards, provincial fédérés, and Parisian sans-culottes, stormed the prisons of Paris. These individuals were driven by the belief that the prisoners, many of whom were common criminals but also included some political prisoners like refractory priests and former nobles, would join the enemy forces if released. The perpetrators, known as septembrisseurs, were largely members of the National Guard and provincial fédérés who had been in Paris since July. They were supported by some gendarmes and the revolutionary sections of Paris, including the Cordeliers and the Committee of Surveillance of the Commune. Georges Danton, the Minister of Justice at the time, delivered a speech on September 2 that many historians believe contributed to the atmosphere of violence. His call to arms against internal enemies heightened the public's fear of counter-revolution and helped fuel the radicalization of the French Revolution. The massacres were not just spontaneous acts, they were also organized to some extent. The surveillance committees of the Commune published circulars calling on patriots to eliminate counter-revolutionaries, and the secretary, Jean-Lambert Tallien, urged other cities to follow suit. Over the course of days, from September 2 to 6, 1792, between 1,176 and 1,614 people were killed in these massacres. The victims included not only political prisoners but also a significant number of common criminals, women, and children. While some historians and contemporaries blame figures like Marat and Danton for inciting the killings, others argue that the events were too complex to be attributed to a single individual. The collective fear, anger, and uncertainty of the time created a volatile environment in which such violence could occur. So, to answer the question, the September Massacres were committed by a combination of National Guards, provincial fédérés, and Parisian sans-culottes, with the support of various revolutionary groups and officials in Paris. These events marked a dark and violent phase of the French Revolution, foreshadowing the even more brutal reign of terror that would follow.